So I was just reading an article here about a man in British Columbia, Canada, that was recently attacked by a bear. So he came back struggling to breathe. BC hiker stabs grizzly bear to fend off attack. So a hiker in the remote backcountry north of Pell River is in stable condition after he was attacked by a grizzly bear Monday, according to the BC Conservation Officer Service. Quadra Island man Colin Dowler was hiking and cycling alone in Ramsey Arm, about 180 kilometers northeast of Pell River, when he was surprised by the bear, conservation told CTV News. So the male was by himself on a logging road when he was attacked by what seemed like a grizzly bear. The BC Conservation Officer Service said in a statement. So basically what I read about this story in a nutshell was that he was out exploring a new hiking trail. And I think he was out on his bike as well, too. Yeah, he was out riding his bike by himself when he ended up, it sounded like he ended up surprising this grizzly bear. It sounded like he didn't expect him. And when the grizzly bear came up on him, he tried putting it across the path, I guess between himself and the grizzly bear, to try to defend himself against it, to set up a barrier. The grizzly bear just grabbed the bike out of his hands and threw it aside. It took some lunges at him, like it actually took some swipes. I remember reading it was slow, methodical swipes at him. At least one of those swipes was actually so severe that it ended up cutting his midsection open, and some of his organs ended up exposed on the outside of his body. But luckily for him, there was a work camp nearby. First of all, what he did was he stabbed this grizzly bear with a 2-inch pocket knife that he had, with a 2-inch blade. Stabbed it in the neck, and managed to get it to flee by stabbing it in the neck, but he was still seriously injured, needed serious help. He ended up having to travel several kilometers to this work camp, and he got help from people at this work camp, who then called emergency services for him and all that. And then he was taken to hospital, where he was kept for several days, basically lucky to be alive. So basically, I was reading about what to do in a bear attack, or an encounter with a bear. If you happen to encounter a black bear in its natural habitat's out in the woods amongst trees, lots of trees and all that. Best thing to do is freeze, drop whatever you're doing, walk backwards slowly away from this bear, and but never run away from it. Don't turn your back on it either. And if it becomes apparent that this bear might attack you or is becoming more aggressive, make yourself as big as possible, make lots of noise, and be prepared. If it's a black bear, be prepared to fight it with whatever you can find around you. If you happen to have bear spray or pepper spray, that'll be great. But if not, fight it with sticks, fight it with stones, whatever you're able to find. And basically be prepared to fight for your life. But in the first place, if you are going out in any kind of habitat where bears might be frequenting, it's best to make lots of noise and travel in a large group. The larger the group, the better. wear a bear bell, but make lots of noise, sing, talk loudly, do whatever. And if it's a grizzly bear, and the grizzly bear comes at you aggressively, whatever you do, do not get aggressive with a grizzly bear. It will end up winning the fight in most cases. Like this guy just got very lucky. The good thing is that bear attacks are quite rare. So to get more information on what's doing a bear attack, there's this website. There's a society called the Bear Smart Society. So you can get lots of helpful tips from that, from the Bear Smart Society. Getbearsmart.com. Yeah, do your homework if you're going out to anywhere where you think there might be bears around. Getbearsmart.com. And you can even find out what grizzly bears look like and what black bears look like and all that kind of stuff. And also, another thing that we can do as humans, if we're in bear country, number one, don't go feeding bears. Just don't. Because what it does is it gets them accustomed to us and gets them dependent on us for food sources. And if you happen to live in bear country or camping in bear country or whatever, make sure to store any food that you have responsibly and dispose of any food that you have responsibly. Yeah, do your homework and go online and Google it, get educated if you're going to be out in bear country at all.